Fans of The Batman, the film starring Robert Pattinson, got some fantastic news over the weekend that Matt Reeves has finished the script for The Batman Part 2. However, there is another persistent rumor that is plaguing this film, and that is that Matt Reeves may step away. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Don't pull right down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell to get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. Also, check out my website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, for even more cool stuff. So Matt Reeves has announced that he has finished the Batman Part 2 script. James Gunn says he intends to read it and they can begin filming pretty quickly. Now, that is really great news for those of us who enjoyed that movie. It was a solid film. I ranked it fourth out of my favorite 10 films of the year when it came out, that is. And I had a pretty good time watching it. In fact, that was my New Year's Eve film while I was redoing my comic book stacks. I was watching The Batman starring Robert Pattinson. Just a great overall film. Yes, it has some flaws, but I enjoyed it. So, all that to say, we were kind of disappointed with the delay in filming the sequel. I personally think it was DC Studios co chairs James Gunn and Peter Safran who were stalling the film. I think that they weren't necessarily trying to sabotage it, but they really wanted to see how Superman would perform in the theaters. But then the Penguin miniseries kind of threw a monkey wrench in that plan because the fans responded so well to it. That's just my opinion, and I have no evidence of this. Because there's an alternative rumor that was started by Grace Randolph, where she says Matt Reeves was actually very ill. And I've talked about that before on this very channel, that he was sick. And it's a Chadwick Boseman situation or a Norm Macdonald situation where he's not revealing to people except those closest to him just how bad he actually is, and that's what's hampering the Batman Part 2. Well, some media outlets, not very many, but a handful, are reporting that he's gotten so sick that he actually might step away from being the director of the Batman Part 2. And this is according to Game Rant via MSN.com. The Batman Part 2 has faced multiple delays since its 2022 announcements, so much so that even its current release date of October 2027 looks feasible with each passing week. An unfinished script and reports of Robert Pattinson's joining Dune 3, a movie set to shoot this summer, mere months before the Batman Part 2 supposed filming schedule, stoked fears amongst fans that the movie would never see the light of day. Matt Reeves' position as director came into question in mid-April following comments from scooper Grace Randolph about the film's delay stemming from the filmmaker dealing with a personal issue close to the seriousness of a Chadwick Boseman situation. Jeff Snyder's speculation of Warner Brothers forcing Reeves out of the project if he doesn't get things together by the year's end didn't help either. Now it seems both may have been right. The latest issue of Production Weekly, a prominent industry trade publication known for tracking film development updates, indicates that Reeves may have withdrawn from the director's chair of The Batman Part 2, holding on to his role as scriptwriter. Filming for the movie has also been shifted to March 2026. Of course, this is far from conclusive proof of anything regarding The Batman Part 2, but when read in conjunction with Randolph and Schneider's earlier statements, higher ups at Warner Brothers stressing their belief in Reeves and his script, not necessarily his directing style, and the usual accuracy of Production Weekly, no one would be faulted for swallowing the news hook, line, and sinker. Reeves stepping down from a role as Kia's director is an unfortunate development for a story that he helped create. Fans would likely wish he could get all the support available in these trying times. Surely, eyes and ears are now peeled for whoever succeeds him. The Raid director, Gareth Evans, has long been in the running for a Batman film, and he has the portfolio to justify it. Ben Affleck may get a chance that was denied him in favor of Reeves, but the actor has expressed his disdain for the comic book genre as of late. Then there are the directors of HBO's The Penguin episodes, particularly Greg Zobel, who knows more than a thing or two about Reeves's world. The ultimate choice partly lies with James Gunn and Peter Safran, CEOs of DC Studios, under which an IP like Batman falls. And then the article goes on to talk a little bit more about what they call the Batman Crime Saga series, which includes the Batman, the Penguin, the Batman Part 2, possibly a GCPD series, and possibly a Clayface movie, which I think is a dumb idea. You should not make a movie based on a villain without the main character. Venom and the first Joker were lightnings in a bottle, and two different franchises on top of that. They were not something that says, hey, yeah, this is a good idea, as evidenced by all of the Spider-Man-less Spider-Man villain films. I would hate to see Matt Reeves step away from the project. I think that he did a great job with The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, of course. It's a shame that shooting has been pushed back and that the release date is all the way in 2027. That is a 5-year gap. This was supposed to be a young Batman trilogy with a younger Batman who really knows his stuff, who he's facing off, and possibly leading into a showdown with the Joker. Personally, I would like to see the Batman face off against villains who haven't appeared in films before. I know they've already done the Riddler, but maybe they could do Hush, maybe they could do Nocturna, or the Clock King or Clock Master if you really know your stuff about Batman. The Mad Hatter, even. Someone along that line, a rare villain that hasn't really been seen a whole lot. That's neither here nor there. I do hope that Reeves gets a chance to step into it. These rumors about him departing the project after finishing the script are just rumors. I wouldn't put it past some of the people in Warner Brothers who want the DCU film franchise, so like Superman, Peacemaker, etc., those movies to succeed, are trying to start rumors to sabotage the Batman Part 2, but I could be way off base there. Now, if Matt Reeves was to step away, I could see Gareth Edwards stepping in. He would be fantastic at it. He's a very talented director. I would love to see Jon Favreau. I've mentioned his name a couple of times. I would love to see him direct a Batman film. Not Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck had his chance. He failed. It was bungled. That franchise is dead and gone. Ben Affleck, as talented as a director and actor he was not right for the role of Batman. Continuing on with my choices. Yeah, the people who directed The Penguin, I could see them picking up where it left off. Like the article I read mentioned, they do know something about the world. I think that would make a lot of sense. I could see someone like that stepping in and handling it. Whatever the case may be, I personally would love to see the names that I mentioned: Gareth Edwards, Craig Zobel, Jon Favreau. I would like to see a Matthew Vaughn. I think he'd make a good Batman director. James Wan, who of course directed Aquaman, he was supposed to direct a Batman film originally, but they moved him to Aquaman when Ben Affleck expressed interest in starring in and directing his own Batman movie. That definitely didn't sound like a Batman movie. I would give him a chance, maybe. I would say David Ayer because he directs a lot of really good action films, but he has totally burned those bridges with his behavior post the release of the Suicide Squad. So, yeah, I don't see him being tapped to direct a Batman film. But yeah, top 3 choices would be Gareth Edwards, Craig Zobel, and Jon Favreau. I know I've said that 3 times now. Sorry about that. I don't like to repeat myself. But what do you think? Do you think that this rumor about Matt Reeves stepping away because of his health is bunk? Are you frustrated with how long it's taking us to get the Batman Part 2? Would you like to see it sooner? Do you want them to move up? I doubt it will because, like they said, Robert Pattinson is supposed to be in the third Dune film, so he's got to film that before he can do anything else. That movie is going to be very intricate. Neither here nor there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But me personally, I am going to lean on the side that this is just a rumor, that it just started because the script for the Batman Part 2 took so long, and that is why this is going around. I'm not going to bank on Reeves stepping away until I hear more about it. That's just my take. It's my own personal opinion. I'm not speaking for anyone other than myself, but that is kind of the feeling that I have. And like I said, I hope that they get a rush on the Batman Part 2, and that it comes out before 2027. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell to get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my main website, studiojakemedia.substack.com. The link is in the description. You can subscribe at different tiers, which really helps out me. Thank you in advance to everyone who picks up a subscription. On that website, there's a conveniently titled Buy My Book section where you can purchase all of my novels. There's links to whatever store you would like. They're all on Amazon, so pick up one or all four. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I want to visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where...
Vengeance.